Hi, hello, good evening. This is Maruti Prasad Sir. Hello, good evening. This is Maruti Prasad Sir. Yes, thank you. Thanks for coming. Anyone? Anybody is there? Thank you. Thanks for coming, all of you. Thank you. Thanks for coming, all of you. Yes. See here. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube channel. This is Maruti Prasad Sir. I have more than 13 years of experience in teaching chemistry for EAMCET, JEE and NEET students. Please subscribe this channel and like it as well as share it. Okay, don't forget to share this entire session. And before I am starting the session, I want to discuss a small thing about the plus subscription page. See here, the premium content which is at affordable price. We are delivering the premium content which is at affordable price. And the structured live courses will be there with dedicated live doubt clearing sessions also. And so many number of quizzes will be conducted at regular intervals for getting self analysis of yourself. They are called as mega quizzes. They are called as mega quiz. So many number of batches for complete preparation of the syllabus we have, and test series for daily practice papers and full length mock test with complete analysis will be there. By taking single subscription you will get unlimited access, but don't forget to use my code, that is Maruti Live. Once you are applying my code you will get 10% of instant discount. 20 plus top educators, 10 plus batches, 250 plus courses and 2000 plus lessons will be added every day. Will be you can utilize and every day different lessons will be added, but everything is under single plus subscription. And Unacademy is giving two best plans for the EAMCET 2021 aspirants. One is 12 months plan and the second one is 6 months plan. 12 months plan is 12,375, whereas 6 months plan is 10,125 rupees. It is 1000 approximately and it is 1600 rupees approximately. Okay. And multiple batches will be launching every month. Every month multiple batches will be launching. Maruti Live is my code. Once you are applying my code you will get 10% of instant discount. As I mentioned now, two comprehensive batches has been already launched. One is for 6 months, another one is for 8 months. If you are not enrolling now, please enroll now immediately. Okay. And one more important batch has already been launched, that is Telugu batch for TS and AP EAMCET 2021. You can learn from the best educators for EAMCET 2021 in this case, and detailed explanation in Telugu languages for better understanding of yourself, and complete syllabus coverage will also be there, and the tips as well as tricks to time save as well as for better score in the examinations. And for this Telugu batch, the monthly trial plan is 2250 rupees and it has been starting from 12th of October. If you are not enrolling now, please enroll now immediately. My code is Maruti Live. Once you are applying my code, you will get 10% of instant discount. That's all about plus subscription. This is all about plus subscription. Okay. Now this is the last class which we need to discuss the 6th A group elements. 6th A group elements, this is the last important thing. Yeah, in this session we are going to discuss about the preparation and the properties of ozone. Preparation and the properties of ozone. Okay, ozone preparation properties మనం చూస్తాం. So how do you prepare the ozone? That is most important for us. Ozone ni prepare చేయాలి అని అంటే it is very easy, but a small important thing is once the ozone will be dissociates into the backward reaction like oxygen, it is very dangerous for us because the preparation of ozone is endothermic, but the ozone dissociation is exothermic. So once the ozone will dissociate, it will produce large amount of energy. It is very dangerous for all the human beings. Very dangerous it is. So some blast will be there once the ozone will be dissociates into oxygen. See here, the preparation technique is only one preparation is there, that is 3O2. 3O2 in the gaseous state will easily converts to 2O3. That's a very simple it is. So here the delta H value is 100 and 142 kilojoules per mole. 142 kilojoules per mole is the value. Here the delta H value is positive. Delta H value is positive. Once the delta H value is positive, then what is the type of chemical reaction it is? If the delta H is positive, it is nothing but equals to an endothermic reaction. It is an endothermic reaction. If the delta H is positive, it is called as an endothermic reaction. Okay. See, one important thing is ozone is thermodynamically unstable. Ozone is thermodynamically, it is highly unstable. So it immediately wants to convert to oxygen. Oxygen kinda it converts అయిపోవడానికి it is very enthusiastic. So ozone is immediately converts to oxygen because it is highly unstable. Okay, but once the ozone is converts to oxygen, it liberates large amount of heat energy. So it is an exothermic reaction. So once, see here, once the ozone is converting to oxygen, what about the entropy value? What about the entropy value? Please tell me. What about the entropy value? Please tell me, anyone. See here, once the ozone is converting to oxygen, here the two molecules of ozone is there, but once the ozone is converting to oxygen, here it will convert to three oxygens. So once the ozone is converted to three oxygens, then the disorderness will be increases, thereby the entropy value is also increases. So the delta H value is negative because ozone is converted to oxygen. But what about the delta S value? Delta S value will be positive. Delta H is negative, delta H is positive. You know very well the Gibbs free energy equation delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Just if you substitute the delta H as well as delta S values in this equation, then you will get delta G equals to, see here, it is negative, it is positive, both are negatives. So the delta G is also negative. Delta G is also negative, right? So the large negative Gibbs free energy will be there. So once the large Gibbs free energy is there, then it is spontaneous. Then it is delta H is equal to negative means it is a spontaneous chemical reaction. Conversion into oxygen is a spontaneous chemical reaction. So immediately ozone is converts to oxygen, spontaneous, without any additional aspect. The ozone is converts to oxygen and it will explodes immediately. It will explodes immediately. So it is very dangerous for us. It will very dangerous. So this is the important preparation of ozone and the basic details about the ozone. Normally preparation of ozone is endothermic reaction, but once the ozone wants to convert to oxygen, it is a spontaneous chemical reaction because at delta H negative and delta S positive, then delta G is negative. These conditions are spontaneous. So ozone can easily convert to oxygen once it happens in the backward reaction. So it is very dangerous for us. Okay, that's all. This is all about the preparation of ozone. And what about the type of thermal chemical reaction is it endo or exo? We have already discussed right now. Okay, now coming to the chemical properties. Chemical properties of ozone. So very important chemical, so many number of huge chemical properties can be exhibited by the ozone. Let us discuss one by one. Okay, So the ozone can convert the black color lead sulfide. Black color lead sulfide can easily convert this ozone to white color lead sulfate. It is a solid. Lead sulfide is also solid. Ozone is a gas, of course. So it is in which color? It is in white color. So the black color lead sulfide is converts to white color lead sulfate. Of course, oxygen molecules will be produced. It is not our required product. This is our required product. That's why old lead painted areas can easily regenerates by the adding of this ozone. So the lead sulfide, black color lead sulfide is converts to white color lead sulfate. White color lead sulfate. So what about the ozone? Is it having oxidizing nature or reducing nature? Ozone can easily convert the lead sulfide to lead sulfate, means this lead sulfide is getting oxidized. This lead sulfide is getting oxidized. So ozone is a better oxidizing agent. It will oxidizes the lead sulfide to lead sulfate. So ozone is a good oxidizing agent. Ozone is a good oxidizing agent because this lead sulfide is getting oxidized. This lead sulfide is getting oxidized to lead sulfate. Okay, right. And in the same way, one more important oxidation reaction, please observe here. The I minus ions. That means if you take a Ki, in the Ki, I minus ions will be there. These are all called iodide ions. Iodide ions can be reacts with water in the presence of ozone. Then what will happen? It will produce along with iodine gas will be liberates. It is not gas, of course. Iodine solid will be produced along with oxygen. So here the iodine will be liberates. Iodine will be produced. See here, it is -1, it is 0. -1 increase it to 0. -1 increase it to 0 means -1 increase it to 0 means it is not gas, of course. Iodine solid. -1 increase to 0 means it is oxidation process. So it also oxidation. So again we can say that ozone is a better oxidizing agent. Ozone is a better oxidizing agent. Is it clear? Is it clear? Ozone is a better oxidizing agent because the black color lead sulfide is oxidizes to lead sulfate in the presence of ozone, and iodide ions are also converts to iodine in the presence of ozone. So these two are oxidation reactions. And coming to the next one, you can react the ozone with silver or mercury. Silver or mercury, very important reactions it has. These two are metals. Once the silver reacts with the ozone, it will produce Ag2O plus oxygen, of course. In the same way, 2Hg plus O3 gives rise to Hg2O plus O2 again. See here, very important concept here is, what is the important concept which is here is, mercury is having, Hg means mercury. Mercury is having meniscus nature. Mercury is having meniscus nature. Mercury is having meniscus nature, right? But this meniscus, what is meaning of meniscus nature? If you take any of the vessel and if you take the mercury in it, then what will happen? Mercury cannot stick onto the surface of the wall, of the particular container. So we can say that that particular nature is called as meniscus nature. Meniscus nature ante meaning enti ante, mercury cannot stick onto the surface of the wall of the container wall ki ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో అతుక్కోదు. అలా అతుక్కోకుండా ఉండే నేచర్ మనం we can say that it is meniscus nature అని అంటాం. So normally mercury is having meniscus nature, but once you are reacting the mercury with ozone, then what will happen? Mercury reacts with ozone and forms Hg2O. Once it will produce Hg2O, we can say that the entire meniscus nature, is totally gets destroyed. Meniscus nature is totally gets destroyed. అంటే ఏమవటం మొదలెడుతుంది? Now the entire mercury will be sticks onto the side, starts to sticks onto the surface of the container walls. That is called as, that nature is called as, or that phenomena is called as tailing of mercury. It is called as tailing of mercury. We can say that it is called as tailing of mercury. So what is the meaning of tailing of mercury? See here, tailing of mercury means normally mercury is having meniscus nature. Mercury is having meniscus nature. Meniscus nature means the mercury cannot be sticks onto the surface of the walls. It is called as meniscus nature. But once the mercury reacts with the ozone, see here, once the mercury reacts with the ozone, mercurous oxide will be produced, 2Hg plus O2 minus. Once the mercurous oxide will be produced in the mercury, then we can say that the entire meniscus nature is totally gets destroyed. And ఇంకా అతుక్కోకుండా ఉండటం మానేసి it will start to stick in the inner part of the walls. That phenomena is called as tailing of mercury. ఆ phenomena ఏమని పిలుస్తాం? Tailing of mercury అని పిలుస్తాం. It is called as tailing of mercury. క్లియర్? చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇది. అయితే ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ బిట్ ఎంసెట్ లో ఏమడుగుతాడు అంటే, దట్ ఈస్ once the meniscus nature of the mercury is completely lost, how can we regain the meniscus nature? మళ్ళీ దాని meniscus nature మళ్ళీ దానికి ఎలా రావాలి అని అంటే, simply you need to add the water and shake it. You have to add some amount of water and shake it well. Once you shake it well, automatically the meniscus nature will regained by the mercury. So meniscus nature అంతా destroy అయిపోయింది కదా. The destroyed meniscus nature will be regained by the mercury once you are reacting it with water. So this adding of water and shaking it is very important for us. Okay, that is one of the important chemical reaction of mercury. Coming to the next one, the same mercury, the same ozone reacts with ethylene molecule also. Ozone can react with an organic compound like ethylene. Ethylene తో కూడా రియాక్ట్ అయ్యే నేచర్ మనకు ఉంటుంది. You know very well ethylene formula is C2H4. You can write it like this. CH2 double bond CH2 ఇలా రాసుకోవచ్చు మనం, right? You can write it as CH2 double bond CH2 ఇలా రాస్తాం మనం. This is called as ethylene molecule. So this ozone can easily react with the ethylene also. So how can it react? Let us see. This is called ethylene. Once the ethylene reacts with ozone, then it will be produced. See here, once the ozone wants to react with any organic compound, it should have one double bond, minimum one double bond it should have. అంటే ఆ డబుల్ బాండ్ అనేది బ్రేకప్ అవుతుంది. So once this double bond will breaks up, then what will happen? See here, this ozone will be attached to this carbon and this ozone will be attached to this carbon also. Then what are the products which are formed here? See, CH2 and CH2. Three oxygens in ozone, three oxygens will be attached like this. Okay, this entire molecule is called as, ozonide actually. But this ozonide is coming from ethylene, that's why it is called as ethylene ozonide. But the chemical reaction will not stop at this moment. Again it will react with zinc hydrolysis. If you do the zinc hydrolysis to this molecule, then what will happen? See here, this bond will breaks up and this bond also will be breaks up. These two bonds will breaks up and this oxygen will react with H2O and produces H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide will be produced. And what is the other product which is produced? See, what is the other product? Here CH2O is there. Here CH2O is there. CH2O is called formaldehyde. CH2O is called as formaldehyde. 2 moles of formaldehydes will be produced. 2 moles of formaldehydes will be produced. Okay. So formaldehydes in the 2 moles of formaldehydes will be produced. That is most important for us. See here, in the same way, the same ozone can also react with acetylene also. Acetylene. With acetylene also it can react. How it will react? This is called acetylene. This is called acetylene. So once the ozone reacts with acetylene, then what is the product which is formed? Already just now we have discussed that if any ozone wants to react with acetylene, then it requires not only acetylene, to any organic compound, ozone requires 2 minimum bonds. Out of the 3 bonds, it will take the 2 bonds as required and 1 bond will remains as it is. So see here, out of the 3 bonds, 2 bonds have been cutting out and the remaining 1 bond will remains as it is. So after breaking of the 2 bonds, the oxygen and oxygen and oxygen will be formed as ozonides like this. It is also called as ozonide. But this ozonide is coming from acetylene. That's why it is called as acetylene ozonide. It is also called as acetylene ozonide. But this chemical reaction will not stop at this moment. It again reacts with zinc hydrolysis. Again this bond will cut up and this bond will cut up. Then what is the product which is formed here? This bond is strong bond, but these two and these two will cut up and it will produce CHO. See here CHO it is, and one bond is remains as it is and CHO will be produced along with the H2O and oxygen, that is H2O2 as it is. This CHO bond CHO is called as glyoxal. This is called as glyoxal. It's called as glyoxal. So in the same case, you can react the almost all the unsaturated hydrocarbons with ozone. Clear? So ozone తో చాలా unsaturated hydrocarbons అన్ని కూడా react అయిపోతూ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట మనకి. So coming to the next one. Coming to the last one, that is reaction with NO. Next one, reaction with NO. How the ozone can react with NO? Let us see. NO gas, O3 also gas. Once the NO reacts with ozone, it will produce NO2 gas plus oxygen. That means if the atmosphere is containing NO gases, it will completely depletes the layer of the ozone and the entire ozone is converts to oxygen. So it is very dangerous for the human beings because the ozone layer is now getting holes with the help of nitric oxides. From where the nitric oxides will be produced? From the supersonic jet airplanes. From the supersonic jet planes, these type of oxides will be produced. Nitric oxide will be produced. So once the jet plane will be produced this nitric oxide, then what will happen? This nitric oxide will completely react with ozone and produced NO2 along with oxygen. So nitric oxide is totally converts to oxygen. So ozone layer is totally gets depleted. Ozone layer completely depleted. But ozone layer లేదు. So the UV rays are directly passing through the ozone layer and it will hit the human bodies. So once the UV ray is hits the human bodies, it will very dangerous to the humans as the skin cancers or skin diseases will be occur to the human beings. So it is very danger for us. It's very danger for us. Okay. Yes, the intermediate compound is only two carbons ఉంటే epoxide అని అంటాం. Only two compounds ఉంటే it is called as epoxide. Okay. Then epoxides and bliss, it is called as epoxide. బాక్సైట్ అని పిలుస్తాం, రైట్? నైస్, వెరీ గుడ్. So now coming to the last important concept, that is structures, ozone structure. Structure of ozone. So how can the ozone can be structured? ఎలా కనిపిస్తుంది ఓజోన్ మనకి? See here. Okay, this is the structure of ozone. And what about the bond angle? The bond angle is 116 degrees 49 minutes is the bond angle. Okay, and what about the bond length? Bond length దగ్గర ఒక చిన్న ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. ఏంటి ఆ ప్రాబ్లం అంటే, let me explain after completion of the structure. See here. These two are resonance structures, 116 degrees 49 minutes. See here, ozone is having one double bond and one single bond కదా. అయితే ఇక్కడ resonance structures ఎప్పుడైతే వస్తుంది, these two are canonical structures అని అంటాం. These two are called canonical structures. Canonical structures of ozone అని పిలుస్తాం ఈ రెండింటిని మనం. సో ఎప్పుడైతే canonical structures వచ్చాయో, అంటే resonance structures వచ్చాయో, we cannot say that it is double bond or single bond. మనం చెప్పలేం ఏది అన్నది మనం చెప్పలేం. What is the shape of this? It is in the shape of angular shape లో ఉంటుంది. It is in the shape of angular. Okay, very good. Angular shape లో ఉంటుంది మనకి. దీని తాలూకా బాండ్ లెంగ్త్ ఒకసారి చూడండి. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ యు టేక్ ఆక్సిజన్ సింగిల్ బాండ్ అండ్ ఆక్సిజన్ డబుల్ బాండ్, రెండిట్ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారనుకోండి, O3లో ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ వదిలేయండి, నార్మల్లీ ఆక్సిజన్ సింగిల్ బాండ్ లెంగ్త్ 1.48 యాంగ్స్ట్రామ్ యూనిట్స్, ఆక్సిజన్ డబుల్ బాండ్ ఎంత అంటే 1.20 యాంగ్స్ట్రామ్ యూనిట్స్. కానీ ప్రాక్టికల్లీ or experimentally the bond length of ozone is 1.27 to 28 or 28 angstrom units. 1.28 angstrom units అని కనిపిస్తుంది మనకి బాండ్ లెంగ్త్. అంటే ఇది ఎలా ఉంది? ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ 1.20 to 1.48, ఆ రెంట్ల మధ్యలో కనిపిస్తుంది 1.28 అన్నది. Because it may be double bond or it may be single bond. We can't say perfectly whether it is single bond or double bond. Correct గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయలేం కదా మనం. అందుకని we can say that the practical or experimental double bond, practically or experimentally, experimental bond length of O3 is 1.28 angstrom units. It is in between single bond and double bond. Single bond length అయితే 1.48 angstrom units, double bond length angstrom units అలా కనిపిస్తాయి అన్నమాట. And the shape is angular అని అంటాం, or otherwise the shape is V shape. Shape is V shape. This is all about ozone and its preparation and the properties. Preparation properties ఇలా కనిపిస్తాయి అన్నమాట మనకి. Okay, so up to this the 6th year group elements are over, and from the next session we will start about 7th year group elements. Until then, keep watching my videos. Thank you. Bye.